The rain hammered against the windshield as Daniel Torres gripped the steering wheel of his old Honda Civic. 3 pizza boxes balanced carefully on the passenger seat. The heat from the boxes had long since fogged up the windows, and his wipers could barely keep up with the downpour. He was running late, and he knew it. Somewhere across town, someone was probably already angry, already rehearsing the complaint they would leave on the website. Daniel had learned to expect it. After all, when you delivered pizzas for a living at 42 years old, people assumed they knew your whole story just by looking at you. What they did not know was that Daniel Torres was not just any delivery driver. He was the founder and CEO of Russo's Pizza Empire, a chain of 37 restaurants across 8 states. But tonight, like every few months, he was back on the street doing what he had done 20 years ago when he first arrived in America with nothing but a recipe from his grandmother and a dream that felt impossibly far away. Daniel believed that to run a great company, you had to understand every single job within it. So he would slip into a uniform, take a stack of orders, and spend the evening delivering pizzas. He never announced it. He never made a scene. He simply showed up, clocked in, and did the work. It kept him grounded. It reminded him where he came from. And it showed him things that spreadsheets and quarterly reports never could. Tonight's last delivery was to a mansion in Thornhill Estates, one of those neighborhoods where the houses had names instead of numbers, and the driveways were longer than most streets. Daniel pulled up to the gate, pressed the buzzer, and waited. The voice that crackled through the intercom was sharp and impatient. "You are late. I ordered this over an hour ago." Daniel checked his phone. 52 minutes. The restaurant was 20 minutes away on a good day, and tonight was far from good. He kept his voice calm and polite. "I apologize, sir. The weather slowed things down, but your pizza is still hot and fresh." The gate buzzed open. Daniel drove up the winding driveway, parked near the entrance, and grabbed the pizzas. Before he could even knock, the door swung open. A man in his mid-30s stood there, dressed in expensive loungewear, his face twisted in irritation. Behind him, the glow of a massive television illuminated a living room that looked like it belonged in a magazine. An hour late. "Do you have any idea how unacceptable that is?" Daniel held out the pizzas. "Again, I really apologize. The storm made the roads difficult, but I got here as fast as I could." The man snatched the boxes and flipped open the top one. He wrinkled his nose in exaggerated disgust. "This looks terrible. Is this what you call fresh? I could have made better pizza myself." Daniel said nothing. He had learned long ago that some people just needed to vent, and the best thing you could do was let them. The man continued, his voice dripping with condescension. "What are you, like 50? And you are still delivering pizzas? Man, what did you do wrong in life? Did you even finish high school?" Something tightened in Daniel's chest, but he kept his face neutral. He thought about his daughter Sophia, who was studying medicine at Stanford. He thought about the scholarship program he had started for employees' children. He thought about the single mothers and college students and immigrants who worked at his restaurants. People who were just trying to build a better life, one shift at a time. The man was still talking, gesturing wildly with one hand while holding the pizza box with the other. "You people need to understand that when someone pays for a service, they expect quality. Maybe if you had worked harder when you were younger, you would not be doing this kind of job at your age. It is honestly pathetic." Daniel took a slow breath. "I hope you enjoy your meal, sir. Is there anything else I can help you with tonight?" The man laughed, a cruel sound that echoed in the grand entryway. Yeah, here is a tip for you. Get a real job." He pulled out his wallet, made a show of opening it, then pulled out a single dollar bill and held it out between 2 fingers as if it were contaminated. "Actually, never mind. You do not even deserve that." He let the dollar fall to the ground. Daniel watched it flutter down and land on the wet doormat. He did not pick it up. He simply nodded, turned around, and walked back to his car. Behind him, he heard the door slam shut. As Daniel drove away, his phone buzzed. It was a text from Margaret, his director of operations. "The Thornhill location manager just quit. We need to make a decision about that store by Monday." Daniel sat at a red light, watching the rain cascade down the windshield, and made a decision. He texted back, "Schedule a meeting for tomorrow morning. I want to talk about expanding our community outreach program and pull the complaint records for deliveries to Thornhill Estates. All of them." The next morning, Daniel stood in his corner office on the 23rd floor looking out over the city. He was wearing a suit now, his hair neatly combed, looking every bit the successful businessman he had become. Margaret walked in with a tablet and a concerned expression. "We have had 17 complaints from that address in the past year. Same customer. He has berated drivers, refused to tip, made inappropriate comments. 3 drivers have asked not to be assigned to his orders. Daniel nodded slowly. What is his name? Connor Mitchell. He works in finance. According to his social media, he loves to post pictures of our pizza. Calls it his guilty pleasure. Daniel smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Call him. Tell him that the regional director of Russo's Pizza wants to meet with him personally to discuss his customer experience. Tell him we are considering him for our VIP customer program. Invite him to the Thornhill location tomorrow at noon. Margaret raised an eyebrow but nodded. Consider it done. The next day, Connor Mitchell walked into the Thornhill, Russo's Pizza location with a swagger in his step. He had told all his friends about it. The regional director wanted to meet him personally. Probably because he had been such a vocal customer. Maybe they would offer him free pizza for a year. He was led to a private room in the back, where a large table was set with water glasses and fresh flowers. A moment later, the door opened, and Daniel Torres walked in, dressed in an impeccable navy suit. Connor's face went blank. It took him a moment to place the face, and when he did, the color drained from his cheeks. You are the delivery guy. Daniel sat down calmly and gestured to the chair across from him. I am Daniel Torres. I founded Russo's Pizza 20 years ago. I also still deliver pizzas sometimes because I believe in understanding every part of my business. And you, Mr. Mitchell, have been one of our most challenging customers. Connor opened his mouth, closed it, then opened it again. His confidence had evaporated. I did not know. I thought you were just a delivery driver. Daniel finished. I am also the person who decides which customers we continue to serve. Connor's face went pale. Look, I am sorry. I did not mean any of that stuff. I was just having a bad day. Daniel leaned forward. You have had 17 bad days in the past year. You have made young people cry. You have humiliated immigrants who are working 2 jobs to support their families. You have treated human beings like they are beneath you because of the uniform they wear. Connor looked down at the table. I am really sorry. Please do not ban me. I love your pizza. Daniel let the silence hang for a moment. Then he slid a folder across the table. Inside was information about Russo's employee scholarship program, stories of drivers who had gone on to become managers, teachers, nurses, stories of people who had started exactly where Daniel started. I am not banning you, Mr. Mitchell. I am giving you a choice. You can never order from us again, or you can spend 1 Saturday a month for the next 6 months working in our kitchens and delivering pizzas yourself. You will see what it is like. You will meet the people you have looked down on, and maybe you will learn something about respect. Connor stared at the folder, his hands trembling slightly. I will do it. I will do whatever you want. Daniel stood up and extended his hand. Good. Your first shift is this Saturday at 4 o'clock. Do not be late. 6 months later, Connor Mitchell was not the same person. He showed up for every shift. He learned to make dough at 5 in the morning. He delivered pizzas in the rain. He listened to the stories of his coworkers, heard about their dreams and struggles, and slowly began to understand that a job does not define a person's worth. On his last shift, he knocked on Daniel's office door. Daniel looked up from his desk and smiled. How are you doing, Connor? Connor shook his head, a genuine smile on his face. I just want to say thank you. I was a terrible person, and you gave me a chance to become better. I will never forget it. Daniel stood and shook his hand. That is all any of us can do. Try to be better than we were yesterday. As Connor left, Daniel looked out at the city again. He thought about the long road from that first tiny pizza shop to this empire. He thought about every person who had ever underestimated him, and every person he had lifted up along the way. The truth was simple. Kindness was not weakness. Compassion was not foolishness. And every single person you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. The uniform someone wears, the job they do, the car they drive, none of it tells you who they really are. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Pure Kindness Stories. Share this message with someone who needs a reminder that respect costs nothing, but means everything. Together, we can build a world where everyone is treated with the dignity they deserve. Thank you for being here, and remember, kindness always wins.